Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is December 24th, 2025, Christmas Eve. And today we're going to be talking about Real Madrid, who have officially requested several documents from Barcelona in the Negreira case. Also, Barcelona are currently discussing three possible options, center back options for this winter transfer market. And finally, I'm going to tell you who is Deco's ideal center back signing for the summer transfer market. Two different things. We're going to talk about them. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. This is the Barca News Live podcast, which is on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where not only we discuss Barcelona news, but where we also get to interact, or where I get to interact with all of you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting a discussion going. So start filling up the chat section so we can get this cracking. For those of you who will be watching when the podcast ends, I will be putting timestamps in the description and chapters in the timeline, in case you do want to skip through the discussion and get straight into the news. The other day, there was someone crying in the comment section, having a total meltdown, fighting with everybody. He's like, oh, these podcasts are so long. It's like, yes, bro, they're podcasts. That's why they're long. But yes, guess what? There's timestamps, right? There's chapters. So if you don't want to hear the discussion, that's okay. Just click on them. You can hear the news and then skip. Pretty easy. But anyways, people these days, they just want to complain about everything. And they just feel like the whole world needs to hear their complaints. And it's like, no. We don't care about your complaints. Anyways, as always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you're looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to go Kids, Get Back, or Fanatics. You can get not only Barcelona merch, you can get merch from any football team or any sports team around the world. If you want to place any sports bets, tomorrow's Boxing Day. You can head to Bet Us. You get $200 free if you start an account. And you can use that to bet. And who knows, maybe get lucky and make some money. All the links in the description, you click on them, you get access to some pretty cool deals and offers that otherwise you would not get if you don't use those links. By the way, Merry Christmas to everyone watching, to everyone who celebrates Christmas on the 24th. I know different parts of the world celebrate Christmas different days. For example, in Latin America, Christmas is on the 24th. This is when you go out, you have dinner with your family, then it turns into a party, drinking, music. You stay up till midnight. At midnight, you do fireworks, you open the gifts, and then the party continues until everybody's tired. And then the 25th is just a day that you pretty much chill. Here in the U.S., it's different. Christmas is on the 25th. Christmas is when you wake up and you open your gifts, and then you go to dinner later that day. So if you celebrate Christmas on the 24th, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I hope this year was a good one for you, and I hope next year is a better one for you. And may Santa Claus bring you all the gifts that you asked for. Anyway, so let's start with the news. And today we're not doing the first segment of the podcast with multiple bits of news. Instead, we are doing the first segment about Florentino Perez and Real Madrid because they are getting desperate. And they keep clinging on anything they can find because that's how desperate they are. Now, of course, I'm talking about the Negreira case because, as you know, these past few weeks, Real Madrid have been on the attack. Florentino Perez constantly bringing up the Negreira case, constantly talking about Barcelona. And well, now they took it a step further because Real Madrid have officially requested a long list of documents from Barcelona that they want to review with their attorneys in the Negreira case because, as you know, Real Madrid are actually a party to this case, right? This case, you know, the prosecutor's office is investigating it. The parties to this case are La Liga, of course, the Royal Spanish Football Federation, but Real Madrid have decided to be a party individually, even though La Liga is there on behalf of all clubs in Spain, but Real Madrid decided to join on their own, and since they are one of the parties in this case, they have requested a long list of documents from Barcelona that they want to review. You know, they want to see if they can find any evidence that Barcelona bribed referees. Now, this is a long list of documents, and I'm going to tell you later why I think they are getting desperate, but this is the long list of documents you might want to grab a piece of paper and a pen because there's a lot. Number one, the internal audits carried out at FC Barcelona between the years 2010 and 2018, in which the payments made to the entities Desnil 95, Nilsad, Nilsad, Soccer Cam, Best Norton, Tricep 2014, and Radamanto. All these are companies that were owned by Negreira that Barcelona hired at one point or another to do those scouting reports. So Real Madrid want to look at the internal audits carried out at FC Barcelona between the years 2010 and 2018 for payments made to those. And continues to say, identify, analyze, and validated included the identification of the authors of those documents, the audits, and the recipients within the structure of FC Barcelona. So not only they want those audit reports, they also want who authored them and who they sent them to within Barcelona. Number two, the annual accounts and the corresponding independent external audit reports relating to those accounts as prepared and approved by FC Barcelona between 2010 and 2018. In other words, they want a full audit of all Barcelona's bank accounts. Number three, the minutes of the meetings of the club's tax governance committee, in which, from a tax perspective, the payments made to Desnil 95, Nilsad, Soccer Cam, Best Norton, Tricep 2014, and Radamanto. So not only they want all the audit reports about the payments made to these Negreira's companies, they also want all the minutes of the meetings where the club's tax governance committee discussed the payments to those companies. Number four, a request that Camp's legal advisors, SLP, be required through the judicial police section of the 7th zone of the Guardia Civil to provide for inclusion in the proceedings all communication and extrajudicial or judicial claims sent to FC Barcelona on behalf of Dustin 95 and Mr. Jose Maria Enriquez Negreira. So they want all the communications between Negreira and his company and Barcelona. And number five, the testimony taken from Mr. Carlos Naval Biosca. Now, that's not all. Real Madrid have also requested that the court include a statement made by Joan Laporta back in 2009 when Real Madrid hired the former referee Davila, Jose Maria Davila. Davila, that's his last name. Now, we talked about Davila before. Forgot his first name. I don't know why I'm blanking. Let's see. Let me see if, right here. Davila. What is his name, Davila? Mejia Davila. I forgot his first name. Mejia Davila. Carlos. So, Real Madrid back in 2009 hired Carlos Mejia Davila. He's a former referee. He still works for Real Madrid. He's a refereeing liaison that works for Real Madrid. We talked about him. He's the one who went on the pitch and confronted the referee when the referee showed a red card to Alvaro Carreras. He is married to Yolanda Parga, who is a member of the CTA, the Technical Committee of Referees. She also sits on the board of the Royal Spanish Football Federation. Her job is to pretty much go to matches, watch referees, and give them a note. And based on that, they get promoted or demoted. So she truly does have the power to promote and demote referees. And she's married to a former referee who works for Real Madrid. Nothing suspicious there. But anyways, back when Real Madrid hired Carlos Mejia Davila, Joan Laporta made the following statement. Again, this was back in 2009 when Laporta was the president, the first president. This was during his first presidency of FC Barcelona. But Laporta said, Real Madrid signing a former referee, I'm sure they know what they're doing. But for us, we respect the refereeing institution and structure. They do their job well. We won't be making any signing like that. And we don't know that market anyway. Now, why does Real Madrid want this statement from 2009 to be included in the Negreira case? Because when Laporta testified a week and a half ago, he said that Barcelona had hired Negreira's company because they made, and I quote, very useful referee reports. So they're saying pretty much, they're trying to prove that Laporta's statement admitting that Barcelona did hire Negreira's company to make very useful refereeing reports is in contradiction to what Laporta said back in 2009, where he said, we won't be making any signings like that. I think there's a big difference of hiring a former referee as part of your staff versus paying a company for scouting reports. I don't know. I mean, just because you hire a company does not mean you're an employee. If I go hire a cleaning company and they send someone to clean my house, that person that came to clean my house is not my employee. I hire that company for a service. They performed it. I pay them. Done deal. Real Madrid with Carlos Mejia Davila, they actually hired him. He's part of their staff. He's on their payroll. He's a Real Madrid employee. Still is. So I don't know how Laporta's statement of saying we won't be signing, making any signing like that, all of a sudden is contradiction that where he admits that we did hire Negreira's company. Two different things. But anyways, now why did I say at the beginning that this is Real Madrid getting desperate? Because this is clearly an exercise in delay. Okay? Real Madrid asking for all these documents, the audit reports, the payments, the communications with Negreira and his companies, the minutes of the meetings that Barcelona had to discuss those payments. All these are documents that Barcelona turned over to the prosecutor's office a long time ago when this investigation was started back 2.5 years ago, more than 2.5. It was March of 2023. So it's going to be 2 years and 9 months. So this is documents that Barcelona already turned over to the prosecutor's office. These are documents that have all been reviewed by the prosecutor's office. And pretty much we moved on it. But now Real Madrid want their own copies because they want to examine them with their lawyers. And this is clearly a delay tactic. Why? Because as long as a Negreira case is ongoing, it's the perfect excuse for Real Madrid to justify their failures, right? If the investigation closes tomorrow and the court says there's nothing here because there isn't anything there, there's no evidence of anything, of any wrongdoing, then that's it. Real Madrid's excuse of their failures all throughout that era where Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique and Tito Villanova spanked them left and right, all of a sudden that excuse goes away. Not to mention, they're using that excuse to justify their failures now. How? I have no idea. Barcelona stopped hiring Negreira's company back in 2018, 7 years ago. But they somehow want you to believe that Negreira is the reason why. By the way, Negreira is retired and already has dementia. But somehow Negreira is still affecting the results today. So if that case closes, their excuse for their failures all those years during the best era of Barcelona goes away. Their excuse for their failures now also goes away. So what does Florentino Perez want to do is delay, because, of course, now that they requested these documents, by the time the documents are turned over, by the time they review them, blah, 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 that's a few more months on the case. That's more months that Real Madrid get to stretch this case and continue to use this excuse or this case as an excuse for their failures and as a great smokescreen for the Real Madrid members and for all the idiotic fans that they have, that they buy this shit, that they eat it up with a spoon. Because none of these idiots are wondering, why is it that the Negreira case has been going on for 2 years and 9 months? And that whole time, Real Madrid were not doing anything. They were not requesting anything. Florentino Perez wasn't saying a single thing. And now all of a sudden, 2 years and 9 months into it, all of a sudden Real Madrid want all these documents. Florentino Perez won't shut the fuck up about it. Is it maybe because Barcelona left Florentino Perez by himself in the Super League? Because if this was truly a crime and Real Madrid can prove that there was truly a crime that Barcelona committed, why weren't they trying to prove it back then? Why are they trying to prove it now all of a sudden, 2 years and 9 months into the investigation? It's because Florentino Perez knows that there's nothing here. He knows that there's no crime, no crime was committed, and as such, there's no evidence of any crime being committed, and he knows this case is going to go away, but might as well milk it. Why? Because a lot of Real Madrid fans are, well, idiots, right? They're smooth-brained morons that they can't think for themselves, and this works as a great way to gaslight them. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about this circus, the Negreira circus. Let's do the comment section, and then we are going to talk about the 3 center backs that Barcelona are considering for the winter transfer market. And then we'll talk about the ideal center back for the summer. 2 different things. All right, let's see. Mick Barca says, Merry Christmas, Santa Mo. What you have for us as a Christmas gift? Just the news, my friend. Just the news. And shit! With the very extremely generous donation. Thank you so much, my friend. Bashin says, Merry Christmas, my brother. This is simply a Christmas gift from me to you, my brother from another mother. May your Christmas be blessed and may New Year see you prosper. Thank you so much, my friend. That is incredibly generous for you. You did not have to do that. You've already supported this channel beyond all imagination that I ever thought, the kind of support I would get. So thank you, my friend. This channel is pretty much is carried by you on your big broad shoulders. So thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody watching. May next year be much, much more prosperous for all of us together here at the Barca News family. And I hope everybody's enjoying their Christmas. I know some people celebrating 24th, some people celebrating 25th. Hopefully you get a delicious meal out of it. Hopefully you get to spend time with your loved ones and you get all the gifts that you put on your wish list for Santa Claus. This Christmas, I'm spending it by myself. My family, my mom is Peruvian. So my family, my mom, my sisters, they all flew to Peru to spend Christmas there with my aunts and uncles and cousins. I was supposed to go too. I took too long to buy my flight ticket, my plane ticket. And finally, when I went to buy it, so this is completely on me, by the way, I fucked up. But when I went to buy my ticket, it was too expensive. It was like almost $2,000. And I was like, man. And, I've done a fair share of traveling this year. So I was like, I cannot justify, $2,000 plane ticket. So I was like, I'm just going to stay home. I'm going to spend it by myself. So I bought myself a steak. I bought myself a bottle of wine. And I bought sweet potato for my dog because my dog loves sweet potato. It's actually boiling right now. I left it down there on the stove. Very low, by the way. The stove is low. So no danger of burning alive live. And I'm going to make myself a steak dinner. I'm going to drink a glass of wine. And I'm going to give Marshall, my dog, his sweet potato. So that's going to be my Christmas plan. I'm taking it easy this year. But for New Year's, I will be going to Washington, D.C. to visit friends, my cousin, and we're going to do New Year's there. And of course, I'll be taking my camera with me because Barcelona news does not stop, and neither do I. But thank you, my friends, for your generosity. Thank you. Thank you for always supporting the channel. And again, Merry Christmas to everyone watching. And Shin also gifting 5 Barca memberships. Thank you, Shin. Again, more generosity. And Sanjog, who has become a member now. Also, Gangsto. That's hilarious. And Baby Yaga. No, Baba Yaga. God, I cannot read. Christian also becoming a member. And finally, Dean also becoming a member. All thanks to Shin's generosity. So congratulations to our new members. Thank you, Shin, for gifting these memberships away. Actually, just yesterday, last night, I put the link to the Discord server on the community tab. So for all the members, head to the community tab. There's a Discord server link on it. Click on it, and you can join the Discord server where I haven't been too active lately, but now I've becoming a lot more active. I've already downloaded Discord on my cell phone. I'm going to be checking it every day, several times a day, so we can always talk on there on whatever you guys want. Barca, players, football, other teams, other sports, life matters, whatever you want. You can join the Discord server and we can talk about it. And of course, Saturdays, we do have the MoCast, which is the exclusive podcast for channel members only. So head to the link and see you guys on Saturday for the MoCast. By the way, I'm thinking of doing a Christmas, I guess today's Christmas Eve, tomorrow's Christmas Day, a Christmas Day broadcast live. So let me know if you guys be interested in that because, tomorrow's Thursday. Thursdays are not usually podcast days. Maybe we'll do one for Christmas. And let's see. Raul says, finally, I'm here with you, Mo. It has really been a while. Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2026. Keep up the good work and God bless you, Bizca Barca. Thank you, my friend. Merry Christmas to you too. And a prosperous 2026 to you too and to everybody watching. I can't believe it's going to be 2026, by the way. It's freaking crazy. I feel like 2025 started 2 weeks ago and it's already over. Time flies, so I appreciate the time that you're here on Earth. It's very, very short. It goes by very, very quickly. So hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. And just be thankful for all the blessings that we have. Because it can always be worse, my friends. It can always be worse. All right, let's get back to the news. Because we do have to talk about the 3 center back options that Barcelona are considering for this winter transfer market as opposed to the summer. 2 different things. And I'm going to explain to you how and why. Now, as I told you in yesterday's video, Deco and Flick met on Monday in order to discuss the possibility of signing a center back during this winter transfer market. Now, this is completely separate from Barcelona's plans to sign someone in the summer. Barcelona still have a plan to sign a center back in the summer transfer market. We've been talking about it for a very long time. We discussed names like Gonzalo Ignacio, who has renewed with Sporting CP, with Nico Schlotterbeck, who's looking to leave Dortmund, Marguerite, who is going to be a free agent. We've talked about all these names that Barcelona are considering for the summer. That's going to be a long-term signing. Someone who can be at Barcelona for many seasons. Long-term thinking. That's the plan for the summer. That plan is still on. And Barcelona is still studying options. Long-term signings for the summer. The winter now, that's a different story. The winter transfer market, Barcelona are exploring the option of signing someone as an emergency. This is not going to be Barcelona signing Schlotterbeck or Gueye or whomever. No, this is going to be someone who can come to Barcelona for a 6-month loan, or someone that costs very, very little that can just come and kind of like be an emergency solution. Why? Because Christensen just tore his ACL. Well, partially tore his ACL. He's going to be out for 4 months. Araujo is out there in Uruguay. We don't know when he's going to be back. So right now, we only have 2 center backs, Pau Cubarsí and Gerard Maldini. Maldini's not even a center back. He's a left back. So right now, we're very, very short on center backs. So winter, short-term solution. Summer, long-term signing. So Flick and Deco met on Monday to discuss the possibility of signing someone in the winter as an emergency. Right now, there's no consensus. Okay? Barcelona have not made a final decision on whether they're going to sign someone or not. This is something that is ongoing, something that Deco and Flick are talking about, and it's all going to depend on what options are out there, right? Because Barcelona is just not going to sign whomever just to say, hey, we signed someone. If the right opportunity comes up during the winter, then Barcelona will jump on it and they'll sign him. If there's nobody in the market that fits the profile of what Barcelona are looking for, then Barcelona are not going to sign anyone. And of course, the plan to sign someone on a long-term basis in the summer will remain intact. It's going to remain intact regardless. Now, what is the profile? What is Barcelona looking for the winter? Well, whoever it is, you have to have 3 main things. A, they can play on the left. Either they're a left-footed center back, or if they're right-footed center back, but they can play on the left. They have to be able to play on the left comfortably. 2, someone with experience, okay? This is an emergency signing. This is not someone, oh, there's a prospect, someone young who looks promising. No. It has to be someone with experience, someone that can hit the ground running, okay? We don't have time to bring someone to develop, right? Because we need someone now. Christensen is injured. Araujo is gone. We need someone now. And 3, someone that can be a leader, right? As we've seen sometimes, our defense lacks that leadership. Ever since Iñigo Martinez left, lacks that leadership. So this is the profile that Barcelona are looking for. Someone who can play on the left with experience and who's a leader for the winter. If anyone comes up with those, becomes available in the winter with those characteristics, Barcelona could sign. If nobody does, then we won't. Now, 3 names right now are Barcelona are considering. Again, this is not final. This is something that's being discussed. But nonetheless, 3 names that Barcelona are considering. Number 1, Otamendi, the 37-year-old Argentine, the World Cup winner who currently plays at Benfica. In fact, he's the captain of Benfica. His contract expires in 2026. He's a right-footed center back, but he has mostly played on the left. So he's someone that can play on the left comfortably. Now, Otamendi fulfills all the 3 things that Barcelona are looking for. Someone that can play on the left, someone with experience, someone with leadership skills. What's the problem? He is the captain of Benfica. So Benfica are not going to look to get rid of him in the winter halfway through the season. So that's a big, big problem. What's the positive? His agent is Jorge Mendes, really close friend of Barcelona, someone that works a lot with Barcelona, someone who represents a lot of players in Barcelona, like Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balde, right? Another option that fits these 3 things: experience, can play on the left, and has leadership skills. Another Argentine, Marcos Senesi. He is 28 years old, the youngest one out of these 3 options. He is a left-footed center back that also plays on the left, of course. currently plays for Bournemouth. His contract also expires in 2026. And even though he's not the favorite option, he's someone that Barcelona are considering. And in fact, Joao Amaral, Deco's right hand, has already watched him play and has already made positive reports about him. Okay? Now, this is important. All these three options, contracts expire in 2026. Otamendi, Marcos Senesi, and the next one. Why is that important? Because Barcelona could take advantage of that and try to negotiate a very, very low offer right now in the winter, because this is the last chance for those clubs to make money, right? If they don't sell them now, in the summer they leave as a free agent. This is why this is very important. Now, the third one, another one whose contract expires in 2026, is Stefan De Vrij. He's Dutch, 32 years old, also right-footed center back like Otamendi. However, he can play on the left comfortably. His contract also expires in 2026. Again, very important, because then Barcelona can negotiate a very low offer. And currently plows his trade at Inter Milan. And out of the three options, this would probably be the cheapest one, because his market value is 3.5. If his contract expires in a few months, you can bring that down. So these are the three options. Otamendi from Benfica, Marcos Senesi from Bournemouth, and Stefan De Vrij for Inter Milan. All have experience. All can play on the left. All have leadership skills. All of them, their contract expires in 2026. So you can negotiate a low offer for them. And all of them would be kind of like an emergency signing. Now, I cannot stress this enough. No decision has been made on whether to sign someone or not. Talks are ongoing between Flick and Deco. Barcelona first have to decide whether they're going to sign one. And if they do decide to sign someone, then they have to decide on whom. So for now, all this is just talks. Now, of course, my question to you is, out of these three options, Otamendi, Senesi, De Vrij, which one would you like? I honestly like Otamendi, but he is 37 years old. I mean, maybe we can sign him for a season. I don't know. That's pretty old. But I do like Otamendi a lot. I think he would be, the most experienced one out of here. World Cup winner, has played at the highest level. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and let me know your favorite options. With that, let's get back to the comment section. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the best, or according to Deco, the most ideal option for the summer. Because, like I just explained, two different things. Summer, long-term signing. Winter, emergency signing. All right. Who would have thought, by the way, that we would be considered signing someone in the winter and someone in the summer for the center back position? We used to talk about how packed the center back position was. We had 20 million center backs. We had to sell center backs like Mika Faye, for example, because we simply just didn't have enough space. And now it's like, we need to sign someone because we don't have center backs. We went from like that position being overbooked to now like, shit, what are we going to do? Crazy. Anyway, Spooky says, Mo, are you worried about Fermin's form this season? No, I'm not. He's had a phenomenal season. The last two matches were not good. Why would I be worried? Willie says, Real Madrid feel they can do anything now. Some in Barca release whatever they want. They should provide theirs first. Well, they're not the ones being investigated, so it doesn't make sense that they would provide anything. Evgeny says, hey, Mo, it's been a while since I joined live. It's 3 a.m. here. I want to join. I can confidently say that you are my favorite YouTuber. Hope we have much good news next year. Bisca Barça. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for staying up late and watching the podcast. And yes, may next year be even better for Barca. And yes, Bisca Barça, my friend. And Alexander says, we need a central back by January 6 months loan. Okay, if he's good, we even sign him in the summer and go for another elite center back in 2027. By then, your financial issue must have to be... No, it's not going to be good. Okay, when you owe 1.4 billion euros, your finances are not just going to get better over a few months. It's going to take years for Barcelona to bounce back financially. As far as a 6-month loan, it's a lot easier said than done, right? Because there's not many players out there who dream of playing for Barca, and they're gonna be like, oh, I just want to play 6 months. Everybody's gonna want to come here for a long period of time, at least 1 or 2 seasons, especially if they're old. But it's a lot easier said than done. But nonetheless, we'll see what comes up in the market, and we'll see what our options are. Sapphire Manga says, hi, Mo. Wishing you a cozy Christmas with your loved ones. Big hug to your doggy. Thank you, my friend. My dog is actually... Oh, my dog is sleeping. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, let me see if I can do this. There we go. You see that little blob right there? That's my dog. He's asleep because he has the best life ever. He doesn't have to work, doesn't have to clean, doesn't have to pay bills, grocery shop, cook, run errands, nothing. He just eats, plays, and sleeps. Great life. But he deserves it because he is the best. Let's see. What else? Al-Haji Bieber says, good morning, Mo. Are you related to Bieber? To Justin Bieber? Says, good morning, Mo. My name is Al-Haji. Al-Haji. No, Al-Haji. Yeah. No. Is that an L? No, that's an I. My God, what's wrong with me? Good morning, Mo. My name is Al-Haji Bieber. Says, say from Sierra Leone, Freetown. Any updates for the 1-to-1 rules? Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. No updates. No updates. People always ask me, but no updates, unfortunately. And Barca Mama says, if we were truly cheated, why would Real Madrid want to start a new league with us? It all makes 0 sense. That's actually a good point. I hadn't thought about that. That is true. If we are cheating and we won all those trophies because we paid refs, why would you start a Super League with Barca? Because, we're going to do the same, right? At the Super League, we're going to bribe those refs too. We're going to win those by cheating. Good point. Good point. I hadn't thought about that. Really, really good point. And finally, Yusuf says, Mo, how are you? I want you to buy me a Barcelona jersey. I'll tell you what. I'll hold another raffle pretty soon. And that way, you'll have a shot at winning. I'm thinking of, by the way, my cat plushie raffle was a disaster. And I tell you why. I did the raffle. People participated. I picked a winner. And it ends up being a disaster because, well, Barcelona fucked me. Why? Because I had ordered the plushie ahead of time, of course. I wasn't just going to do the raffle and not have the plushie. I ordered it online when it was available. I get the email saying, oh, your plushie is going to ship in, I think it was December 18th. I had bought it like at the beginning of December. When it was first released, I bought it. So I said it wasn't going to ship until the 18th. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I announce it. 18th comes, nothing. 19th comes, I don't get any email saying it has shipped. 20th comes, nothing. Finally, yesterday, the 23rd, I get an email that says your order has been canceled. And I was like, wait a minute. So I reach out to the club, to the store, and I was like, why is my order canceled? It turns out that they sold a lot more plushies than what they actually had. So they weren't able to fulfill all the orders that they got. And one of those orders was mine. So since they didn't have enough plushies, they canceled my order. So I had to reach out to the winner and apologize. It looked stupid and said, I'm sorry, bro, but they canceled my order. There's no plushie coming. I gave them an option. I said, hey, look, do you want to wait maybe a week or two and see if they restock it? If they do, I'll send it to you. And if not, we can do a different gift. He already picked his next gift, but he said he wants to wait. So we're going to wait a couple of weeks. If they restock the plushie, I'll send them the plushie. And if not, I'm going to send them something else that he already picked. But that was a disaster. So thanks a lot, Barca, for that. And but anyways, what I was going to show you guys before I completely got distracted with my rant about Barcelona store fucking me. Where is it? Right here, kits. I'm thinking about, doing something different instead of just, oh my God, this website takes so long to load. Anyways, just take it too long. I'm thinking about raffling. There we go. It finally loaded. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Where is it? All right, here we go. I'm thinking about raffling this kit. Model not included, ladies. Sorry. I can only raffle the actual But yes, I'm thinking about raffling this kit. You know, this is kind of like the special edition collectible kit in honor of that 2006 El Clásico match where Barcelona won 0-3 at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Ronaldinho scored 2 goals and he got a standing ovation from the Real Madrid fans at the Bernabeu. So I'm thinking of raffling this one, you know, since, you know, it's different, right? I could raffle the regular home kit, but I already did that. So what do you guys think? Do you think I should raffle this kit? Let me know in the chat section or in the comment section if you're watching this once it ends. And with that, let's see. Let's do a few more comments, and then we will do the next bit of news. Let me see. Alexander says, Mo, we need a central in the winter. What if something happens to Cubarsí or Eddie Garcia? Then we are cooked because we can trust Araujo. Well, that's the plan. That's what the discussions are about. But, of course, winter transfer markets, there aren't many options, or at least good options. So that's why Barcelona right now is studying the market, seeing what's out there, and seeing if any of those would fit the profile that Barcelona are looking for. Because if there isn't any, then we're not just going to sign whomever just for the fuck of it, right? There has to be someone who is good. And John Williams, my friend whose cap sock is always stuck, says, honestly, Mo, there's no excuse for Barca not to sign. Yes, there is. There's no money. There's no financial fair play. This is like me saying, hey, John, there's no excuse why you don't own a Lamborghini. And it's like, yeah, there is. You can't afford it. Right? At least I can't. Maybe you can. I don't know. But yes, there is an excuse, my friend. And Shin says, my prediction is that Barca sign absolutely nobody in January. I feel it's more likely to sell, and save the money for summer. But hell, I've been wrong before. So the plan is actually not to sell anyone. Barcelona don't want to sell anyone because, you know, for this exact reason, right? Where if someone gets injured or maybe 2 players get injured or something happens, then all of a sudden you're stuck with no players. So there's no plans to offload anyone in the winter except Ter Stegen, of course, which most likely will be loan. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the summer, of course, but I will see what happens in the winter. And as always, I will be here to tell you all about it. All right, let's do the next bit of news because we have to talk about Deco's ideal signing, center back signing for the summer transfer market. As I just explained a few moments ago, Barcelona considering an emergency option for the center back position this winter. Again, emergency. Someone who's either very low cost or a 6-month loan. But the plans to sign someone in the summer are still intact. That summer signing will be a long-term signing. This is not someone who's low cost, not someone on loan, someone that can come here 4 or 5 seasons, maybe even more, and be, you know, a starter. Big name signing. Now, we've talked about different names for this summer signing. Schlotterbeck, Marquelli, Gonzalo Ignacio. Of course, there's the dream signings like Guardiol and Bastoni that we simply cannot afford. And then now there's the ideal signing that Deco would love for Barcelona to sign, or for him to sign, I guess, because he's the one who makes signings. And it's no other than Murillo. Now, we talked about Murillo before. He is Brazilian, 23 years old, so young. You know, someone who's in almost there at his prime, not there yet, but 23 years old. They come for Barcelona for many, many seasons. He's left-footed, right? So he can play on the left, something that Barcelona have been looking for. He currently plays for Nottingham Forest, and he has a contract until 2029. Now, why does Deco like Murillo? It's not just because he's Brazilian. People are always like, Deco, he chose it because he's Brazilian. There's a little bit more to it. But because the fact that he can defend aggressively, step out with the ball, and operate comfortably on the left, it makes him, in the eyes of Deco, an ideal option for Barcelona. And this is who Deco would like to sign in the summer. And in fact, write this down. Well, not really, because why would you write it down? Deco has already reached out to Murillo's agents and has already been in contact with Murillo's agents to try to explore the possibility of signing Murillo in the summer transfer market. Again, I cannot stress that enough. Summer transfer market. This is not going to be a winter signing, all right? Nottingham Forest are not just going to get rid of Murillo in the winter. And if they do, they're going to want even more than what he actually costs because you're getting rid of your best defender halfway through the season, right? This would be very reckless on their part. Now, what's the problem? The problem is Murillo's market value is 55 million. And since his contract expires in 2029, well, they're going to want a good amount of money for him. And also, the big six in the Premier League are all interested in him, all tracking him. And of course, Barcelona, financially speaking, they cannot compete with any of those clubs. But nonetheless, Barcelona have already reached out to Murillo's agent. They're in talks with him and his agent because Deco believes that Murillo would be the ideal signing for the center back position come the summer transfer market. My question to you is, what do you think about Murillo? Do you think he'll be a good signing? I've seen some of his highlights. I've seen he looks like a very solid defender. You know, tall, physical, really aggressive, but can still build from the back. And doesn't hurt that he's left-footed, right? So let me know you guys' thoughts. And with that, let's get back to the chat section. And then we'll talk about a player, English player, that Barcelona are close to signing. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let me change to this screen. Come on. There we go. Hate Central. Oh, my friend. No, why? It has to be Love Central. Love. Says, Mo, what do you think of Joaquin Panicelli for in the summer? I don't think we can get Osimhen or Alvarez. They are too expensive. Look him up. I think he is a great fit for us. He is Argentine. I figured because of that name. But I'll check him out, my friend. I'll check him out. Joaquin Panicelli. That name sounds familiar. Why is that? Let me see. Joaquin Panicelli. Let me see. He is 23 years old. Wow. 190 his height. 25 million market value. Plays for Strasbourg. And he has a contract until 2030. Let's see. So far, he's only had one appearance in the Ligue 1. So I'm guessing he's not a starter. He just joined this summer. And if he has a market value, let me see. How much did Strasbourg pay for him? They paid 17 million. So they signed him from Alaves for 17 million. That's why he sounds familiar, because he played for Alaves. Joaquin Panicelli. Okay, so Strasbourg signed him for 17 million this summer. And they have him until 2030. So, yeah, they're going to want at least double that. Maybe 25, 30. Joaquin Panicelli. But it doesn't look like he's getting any minutes with Strasbourg. So, I don't know if that's someone you want starting in your center forward position. I mean, maybe like a future option, yes. But as an immediate option, I don't see it. 23 years old, has only had one appearance in the Ligue 1 for Strasbourg. Where is Strasbourg on the table right now? Let's see. League 1 or League On standings. Strasbourg are 7th. They've lost their last 3 matches, drawn 1 and won 1. Yeah, I just don't see it, my friend. Wait. This doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Am I missing something? Let me see the more detailed data. Oh, that's the French Cup. That's why. I was about to say. Okay. There we go. No. Okay, now it makes sense. He's had 16 appearances and scored 9 goals. That's pretty good, actually. Those are good numbers. I take everything I just said back because for some reason I was looking at his numbers in the French Cup, in the Coupe de France. But no, in the Ligue 1, he has had 16 appearances and he has scored 9 goals in those 16 appearances. Now, in all the competitions, he has 23 appearances with 10 goals. He has appeared 1 time in the Coupe de France, 4 times in the Conference League, 16 times in the Ligue 1, and 2 times in the Europa. I think that's the Europa qualifiers. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to look up his highlights, my friend. But thank you for your suggestions. And Evgeny says it's pronounced something like Devray. Okay, thank you, my friend. I was like, there's no way it's Devrij. I'm like, that just doesn't sound right. But thank you. Thank you for that. And Ed60 says they have to sign one. We have no depth. Maybe in La Masia will save us again, but it seems like Fake doesn't like the center backs from La Masia right now. Honestly, at this point, yeah, if we're looking at like people like Otamendi, who's 37, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating Otamendi. I think he's a great center back, but he is 37. Or like De Vrij or these options, I think might as well just bring up someone from the academy. I mean, I don't know. But of course, you know, they're not going to have the experience or the leadership skills that Barcelona are looking for. But again, for those options we're thinking about, you know, 30 plus year olds, you know, might as well look at someone from the academy. Danielle says, Otamendi for what? Are we going backward or forward? Barcelona at this point is not serious. Emergency options, my friends. I cannot stress this enough. Emergency option, okay? This is not a long-term signing. It would not be Otamendi, Barcelona sign Otamendi for 5 seasons. It would be Barcelona sign Otamendi for 6 months or a season, okay? This is just a emergency option, okay? Clubs do this all the time. Emergency option, right? By the way, the same thing was said about Inigo Martinez when Barcelona first signed him. Oh, what are we doing signing this old guy? Blah, blah, blah. Barcelona going backwards, blah, blah, blah. And now everybody was like, Inigo left. So let's chill. Emergency option, and no decision has been made. Dan Lee says, Senesi is left-footed and will play hard because he is a possibility to make the Argentina squad. Yeah, he's definitely looking. I think he just got called up, actually, the last time Argentina played. But yeah, he's definitely looking to obviously make it to the World Cup. Let's see. One more, and then we'll do the next bit of news. Enrico says Otamendi is an aggressive CB under pressure. The only thing I don't like about his aggressiveness is a lot of times he makes stupid fouls. That's the only thing I don't like about Otamendi. But yeah, he's a very aggressive, very experienced, good defender. But yeah, sometimes he's just like, he's too aggressive. Anyways. Let's get back to the news. And then we'll do more comments. I promise. But let's talk about AJ Tavares, someone that we talked about in our previous video. If you don't know who he is, 15 years old, left winger, currently playing for Norwich City. He will be 16 on the 28th. So in 4 days, he will become 16 years old, which means he will finally be able to sign professional contracts. He has a European passport, even though he's English. He also has, I think it's Portuguese, which means we can sign him without having to wait for him to turn 18. Because, you know, since Brexit, England now, it would be like signing someone from Africa or Asia or Latin America. You know, they have to be 18. But since he has a Portuguese passport, which is part of the European Union, you can sign him before he turns 18 years old. Now, AJ Tavares, strong dribbler. He can use both legs. Tall, powerful. Has played as a center forward because he's tall and powerful. He's already made it into the under-17 English national team. And this is someone that Barcelona were reportedly very close to signing, right? They're looking to finalize the signing and bring him during the winter transfer market for Barça Athletic, because right now we have, of course, a shortage of attackers at Barça Athletic due to injuries. Now, what's the update? Because I already told you all of this in a previous video. The update is that the coach of Norwich City, Philip Clement, had, oh, shit. What did I just do? There you go. Had some interesting statements about Barcelona's interest. They asked him, hey, Barcelona, they're saying they're close to signing him. What do you think about that? And this is what Philip Clement had to say. Many young players are now training regularly with the first team. AJ is a very interesting one on that list. And I know he was also in the preseason with the first team and did very well. He's very young. He's still very young. But we want to keep our best talents. Again, we want to keep our best talents. It's one of the most important things for the future when we talk about with the owners. They want the players from our academy to grow and make it to the first team. So, of course, we want to keep AJ. So, Philip Clement saying, they even know, plenty of reports saying that Barcelona are very close on finalizing the signing, that they want to keep him because He is a very talented player, and of course, they want to, keep their best talent, which of course begs the question: what does this mean? Is this just a coach saying, "Oh, we want to keep our best players," because that's the proper thing to say? Is this a tactic to maybe drive the price up? Play a little hardball. Hey, we want to keep them, so offer more money. Or maybe it doesn't mean anything. Again, maybe this is just coach being proper, saying what he has to say. And nonetheless, AJ will end up in Barcelona. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is just a coach saying what he's supposed to say. No coach is going to come out and be like, yeah, we want to get rid of our best players. Of course, they're going to say, we want to keep them. They're the best. They're talented, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it means that maybe AJ is not coming. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. We'll have to wait and see. But AJ Tavares, Barcelona trying to sign him. And Norwich City's coach saying, no, we want to keep him. All right, let's get back to the comment section. Let's see. Shin says, I disagree respectfully, Mo. Our two crackhead dogs are the most spoiled dogs ever. Yeah, mine is too. That's why I'm going to give him some sweet potato after this, and he's going to love it because he loves sweet potato. Let's see. Van Lee says, we need two. Oh, hold on. My alarm just went off. All right, there we go. We need two reliable lefties and two reliable righties. That sounds weird to say lefties and righties. Not that we don't need those reliable. It's just weird phrasing, I guess. Edward says, wasn't Otamendi the one who kicked our asses in Champions League play? Did he kick our asses? I mean, he had a good match. I wouldn't necessarily call that kicking our asses. I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. Shin says, not surprised you got hosed on Cap Plushie. Testament to how Barca have been handling all their financial dealings over the last decade plus. Just a joke, but it's partially true. I mean, it is. Remember the whole, if you pay a subscription to their Barca TV or Barca One, you could stream all the matches from the preseason, and then literally the first match, the whole service just crashes. And nobody can stream anything, and then Barcelona are forced to stream those matches for free. And it's like then instead of just admitting and be like, hey, we weren't prepared, and we didn't have enough bandwidth, and we didn't have the proper servers. No, we got hacked. And it's like, bro, nobody buying that bullshit. And it turns out, no, they weren't hacked. They just weren't prepared for it. So this is just another example of that. When Barcelona signed Lewandowski, they couldn't. They stopped selling his kits. They ran out because they didn't order enough W's. Are you fucking kidding me? What is this shit? You are a global company. One of the biggest names, one of the biggest brands in football. And you didn't order enough W's when you just... I mean, come on. You should have known. You just signed Lewandowski, the biggest name in us as far as center forwards in the entire planet. And you didn't order enough W's? How stupid is that? Seriously. And now with the plushies, same thing. It's anyways. Let's see. Sapphire says, Mo, I received an email with Barca's Christmas sweaters. It's kind of late to get it for Christmas. Yeah, the sweaters are beautiful. That's, by the way, what the winner of the plushie picked. Because I told him, I was like, what do you think about the sweaters? He picked the blue one. The blue one is very beautiful. So we're going to wait a couple weeks, see if the plushie comes. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to send them a sweater. If you guys don't know which one I'm talking about, let me show you. Hoodies and sweaters. Where is it? Christmas, Christmas. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I don't see it. I think I got to go home. Well, not me home, but to the websites. There it is. There it is. Then it's this one. I think it's a beautiful sweater. Look at that. I might order one for myself. I have a Christmas sweater. I have a gray one that my friend brought me from Spain last Christmas because Barcelona at the time they still didn't, you couldn't buy stuff off their website if you were in the US because they only ship to Europe. Now they ship worldwide. So he went to Barcelona and got me. It looks just like this one, but it's gray. But he brought it to me in small. I'm like, bro, I haven't been small since I was 10 years old. So it's very tight, but I still wear it because I love it. But anyways, let me see. Where did we leave off? There we go. Evgeny says maybe Alvaro Cortez cooks if it is an emergency situation. Who knows? La Masia has been bailing us out for a while now. In fact, our best players are either La Masia or signed as market opportunities. Yeah, that's true. But again, I guess since Barcelona are looking for experience, maybe that's why. But yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're considering a 37-year-old, might as well just bring up someone from the academy and fuck it, call it a day. It just says, and yes, I've heard a couple of, or a few, or whatever, of cervezas. It sounds like I'm making no sense in my comments. You know why? Well, it's okay, actually. I have an admission right before I started the podcast. So here you go. Cheers, everybody. Wait, I got to put it on this side because of the whole comments. So yeah, cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. It's Argentine wine. Speaking of Argentinians, Otamendi and Senesi. But yeah. Wait, can I get in trouble with YouTube for drinking live? I hope not. Anyways, let me see. Where did we leave? There we go. FCB Culé 1 says former Deportivo Alavés player. I guess you're talking about Panicelli. Yeah, that's why it sounded familiar. I was like, that's that name. I've heard it before. Let's see. And Barca Mama says, I still say that Puyol should take kids with potential in La Masia and mentor them for captaincy. Can you imagine? I think Puyol is the prime example of what a captain should be, not just at Barca, but on any football team. Shit, in any sports team in the world. Puyol is the example of what a captain should be like, how to carry themselves. But yeah, I agree 100%. Can you imagine Puyol teaching these young kids leadership skills and how to behave and how to act on the field and off the field? My goodness. Let's see what else. Dorian says, yo, Mo, hope you have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. Merry Christmas to you too. And let's see. Bast FPS says, I personally don't believe Barca should be shopping for a big center forward or striker, I guess, in 26. I feel like our main concerns in finding a left center back and 2 fullbacks to recover Balde and Koundé search for a big. But the problem is, it's like, who do you keep? Right? I mean, are we going to keep Lewandowski, who's going to be 38, and Ferran? So it's like tough, man. That's a sensitive position. You need someone there. So yeah, that's the problem with being broke, right? It's like, because if we weren't broke, we could just do all of it. Go get us a striker, go get a left winger, a left center back, a right back, a right fullback, a left fullback. Well, yeah, right back, left back. But unfortunately, we have to pick and choose, unfortunately. And Agnes says, hey, Mo, just bought tickets for the Champions League game. Let's go versus Copenhagen on the 28th of January. It's a surprise for my son's 15th birthday. Do you know when and where to the supporters section meet up before the game? That is absolutely amazing. Amazing. So right now we don't have a supporters section, obviously. But since it is the Champions League, I would show up early and wait outside the Camp Nou. You'll see where the crowd gathers. It's where, all right, let me think. It also depends on what gate you're coming from. But if you're coming from the gate that's closest to the store, right? It's in front of you. You go left on that street because there's going to be a street and then boom, the stadium, right? And the stadium's going to be to your left, and then straight ahead is going to be the entrance, and there's going to be the restaurant. There's going to be the store. There's going to be the museum to your right, the Palau Blaugrana. But anyways, don't enter, all right? Just cross the street. Do not enter. Go to the left, okay? Keep walking, and you're going to see the entrance to the stadium for vehicles, all right? That's where the bus comes in for the players, and that's where they come in and come out of the stadium, all the players visiting and away. That's the same thing. Home and away. People gather up there a lot of times, so you can be there, or if not, you'll see them. But just show up to the stadium early, and you'll see people gathering outside the stadium, and it's really fun. It's very, very fun. But I would try that. But yeah, that's amazing, by the way. Good luck. I hope you guys have fun. Hopefully you watch like a bunch of goals. But that's the best gift. I wish my parents would have gotten me a ticket to see Barcelona when I was 15. That's amazing gift. I mean, what a memory. This is a memory that your son, I'm sure, is gonna cherish for the rest of his life. So you guys have fun, enjoy yourselves, and hopefully you'll get to watch an amazing match where Barcelona score a bunch of goals. Yomi Odara says, hey, I made it to the live. Thank you for everything you've done so far this year, brother. No, thank you, my friend, and thank all of you who are watching. Like I always say, and I know you're probably tired of me. By the way, I should probably print that on a shirt. Because I always say, if it wasn't for you, I'd be just a crazy guy screaming at his camera. And that's true, right? Because I literally am a crazy guy screaming at his camera right now because, it's like it's just me and my camera. But because you guys are here, obviously, it makes it a little bit less crazy. Let's see. Bene Bodiache 724 says, how I wish Barcelona had financial freedom under Flick. Anyway, Merry Christmas, Mo. Enjoy your wine. YouTube would understand. Yeah, let's hope I don't get in trouble for that. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. And yes, I said that the other day, by the way, on one of the videos when I brought up, no, it was the post-match live analysis, and I brought up the stat how this year Barca have closed the year with 169 goals. And under the MSN, they had 180, so only 11 goals away from, the most lethal trident in the history of football. And I said this, I brought this point up, and I said, can you imagine Barca under Flick financially healthy? I mean, what Flick has been able to do in such a short period of time with no resources is amazing. Can you imagine what he would have done with resources, with Barcelona just, signing people, whoever he wanted? I want this, got you. Bam, 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 done. We probably would have won sextuple our first season. But anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Christmas day. Merry Christmas to all of you who celebrate on the 24th. If you celebrate on the 25th, don't worry. I'll be doing another podcast tomorrow, and I'll get to wish you a Merry Christmas again tomorrow. I think I'll be posting another video later tonight. I'm going to go make dinner for myself and my doggy, and then I'll probably post another video. So stay tuned to the channel. Enjoy your time. Yeah, someone said your potatoes are burning. Most likely, so I have to go check on them. But enjoy your Christmas with your loved ones. Have some delicious meal. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Exchange gifts. Whatever you have to do. The most important thing is you spend time with them, because life on this planet is very short. It goes by quick. It's very important that we cherish every second that we're on it. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.